Hey, and welcome to another Excel demo with Rich Kerr. In this example, I'm going to show you how to use the new LAMBDA function to make simplification of your Excel formulas a breeze. You can actually create custom functions using the LAMBDA function in Excel. And get this, you do not have to write one line of VB code. Now, I'm not knocking that. I love writing VB code, and it opens up a huge amount of possibilities for us. But in this scenario, I want to talk about how you might be able to get away with doing something right inside the Excel environment, no VBA needed, just using the LAMBDA function. Here's a simple example. I want to calculate commissions for these salespeople. And let's say for my firm, if you have sales of $200,000 or more, you get a 15% commission. If you have sales of $150K or more, you get a 10% commission, and everything under $150K, as long as you sold something, you'll get 5%. Let's look at a traditional way you might do this. And of course, you could do it a few ways. You might do a VLOOKUP. You might write an ifs function, which is sort of the new way of doing nested ifs. You could use the ifs function, and I have my B2 greater than 200,000. If that's true, then we're going to do B2 times 15%. However, if B2 is greater than or equal to 150K, we'll just do B2 times 10%. And then for those scenarios where B2 is just greater than 0, the sales rep gets a 5% commission. So this would be a traditional way you might do that. And it's not the most complicated formula in the world. It's just got a few pieces to it. But it is kind of long. And I'd really love to make it much more simple. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use the LAMBDA function. I'm going to have a couple of steps here, so bear with me. We're going to say equals LAMBDA, open paren. And with the LAMBDA function, I'm going to name an input parameter. I'm going to create a parameter or a variable, if you like to think about it that way. I'm going to call it sales. And that's going to be the amount that the person sold. So that's the 120 for Chelsea or the 175 for Mia, etc. Comma. Then I'm going to say if sales greater than or equal to 200,000, comma, sales multiplied by 15%. Comma, let's move on to the next scenario. Sales greater than or equal to 150K. Then it's sales times 10%. And then finally, as long as sales is more than 0, then we do sales times 5%. Now, what you have to do with the LAMBDA function is, because I've used the word sales here rather than referencing cell B2 directly, LAMBDA doesn't know what value should be attributed to sales, so I'm going to add B2 as an input value at the end of the original function. So I've got my original formula, and I can reference B2, so LAMBDA knows to plug the value for B2 in all these spots where it says sales. We can see it works, right? I'll drag that down, and we should get the exact same results. But wait a minute. Okay, it works, but how is that simpler? It's actually more complex. You're right. We're not going to stop here, but I needed to show you how you could use the LAMBDA function to maybe replace part of your formula with an actual value. Of course, we know you could do that with named ranges. But the real value kicks in when you set this formula up using it as the support for a named range. Okay? Let's see how we would do that. I'm going to blow this away. I'm going to go to define name, and I'm going to create a name called commission. Just commission. And of course, initially with the name new name tool, it's going to try to select whatever cell or cells you have. But we're not going to refer to a range of cells. We're going to refer to a formula. We're going to say equals LAMBDA, open paren. Sales, if you recall, is my input parameter, comma, and then my formula, if if sales greater than or equal to 200,000, then sales times 15%. Sales greater than or equal to 150,000, then sales times 10%. And lastly, if sales is greater than 0, then we do sales times 5%. Now here's the difference. When I set the lambda function up as the supporting equation for a named range called commission, and actually I want a little typo there, let's put an I there, commission. When I do that, I don't have to follow the formula with a reference to B2 like I did when I wrote it in the spreadsheet. So you notice I'm not saying open paren B2 to support this. What will happen now is that the named range tool will anticipate that you're going to provide the value for sales, and then it will use that value in the rest of the equation. Here's how it works. I think I was missing a closed paren. There we go. We'll click OK, and so now I can type equals, and commission shows up in my drop-down list as though it's an Excel function. I mean, it has the icon for a named range, which is technically what it is, but it's a named range pointing to a formula. And so I can simply do an open paren and select a value for sales, and I get the same result. And then I can just simply fill that down. So when you compare this formula, commission for B2, versus ifs and then all these calculations, you can see that this is much more straightforward. And the advantage is I can now provide that functionality to someone else on my team who maybe isn't as savvy. And even for myself, maybe I just don't want to have to write this every time, right? So now combining the lambda function with the named range tool, I've basically created a custom function that I can use, right? And I'll simply just call this commission. And it just simplifies the process. We're going to look at some more examples soon. Thanks for checking in, guys. Please come back and check out all my demos on Excel. Please like and subscribe. It really supports the channel. I certainly appreciate it. And if you have something specific that you want me to address, let me know. I'm happy to create a video for you so that you can continue to excel. Have a productive day.